Live. So welcome back to another episode of Film Talk, y'all, hosted by me, your girl KP. Y'all already know the deal. Film Talk is a podcast that highlights individuals like myself and our special guests that are in the LGBTQ plus community, where we have conversations about our obstacles that pertain to our daily life, relationships, society, and things that pertain to our truth. Make sure you guys check out our podcast on 105.7 The Phase and on our YouTube page, Fem Talk YouTube. And today we do have a super special guest, Lorie Moore, where we're going to be talking about lesbian women in filmmaking and why representation matters. Lorie, can you please introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. What's up, y'all? My name is Lorie Moore. And you might, it was a quick 15 minutes of fame that I had on the X Factor season 3. So I come from music and had been doing that my whole life, but have always been a writer. And so I didn't limit myself. I write music. I used to write plays, but my plays, I never did anything with them. All of a sudden, we get to doing musical theater, working with people like Tisha Campbell Martin, going on tour with Johnny Gill, on tour with RZA, Wu-Tang. After all of that, it was like, what's next? And I'm like, I want to go to film school. And so I checked out my good friend, Ernesta Menza, who is in admissions at the Los Angeles Film School. I said, that's my soror. So I said, do you think I should do it? Like, is it too late? Am I too old? And she's like, girl, no, like, you're perfect. You're creative. Go for it. That was 3 years ago. And here I am. Next month, I'm graduating with honors. So she was right. And I'm having a really good time transitioning. I would say transitioning, but I know I'm never going to let music go. But getting into, or should I say, on the other side of the camera.
Right.
Really good.
No, that is super dope. So I love that you have your hands in like a little bit of everything, though. So before we jump into filmmaking, I do kind of want to talk about your musical experience. I know you mentioned some artists. So what was that like going on tour and writing for them, and like what made you want to transition from music to filmmaking?
So, I mean, I think at a time with music, it's very, especially coming from where we come from, or where I come from, our community, it has been very tough for me time frame wise. So I'm looking back at TikTok. I see how the Suds is getting all the love now. And when I was a tomboy, that shit wasn't cool. So it's like, I'm a little irritated personally, because if I was a little younger coming in music, I'd be on my, like, loud and proud, like the kid. Like, I have to say the kids. I don't want to date myself, but I am in another tier now. But when I was younger, I had to do things like, when I was signed to Rap a Lot, and I had a girlfriend, and we were broke, poor musician. And one of my friends told a big crazy lie and said, hey, don't be mad at us, but we put you in this story and now we want to go on Ricky Lake. I don't know if you remember what Ricky Lake is.
Yes.
Like Jenny Jones and all the rest of them was like the salacious talk shows. And they had written, well, I'm not going to say written, I don't want to say that because I don't want to get sued. But they had told the producers that my ex was cheating, or my girlfriend was cheating on me with another girl. And they loved the story. They brought us out to New York. I was like, look, I'm signed right now. Can I put a hat on or something? Like, I wanted to go because we was broke and I wanted to travel. But I don't know what I was thinking. But I went on the show. They get me, I don't know if y'all remember, but they used to do photo booth. They put somebody in the photo booth, put the headphones on so you can't hear. That's me, because I'm the one getting cheated on. It wasn't. Trust me, y'all, I wasn't getting cheated on, not even. But I was in the booth and they like, excuse me, our producer said you have to take the hat off. It's casting a shadow. I said, no, y'all told me I could wear this hat. I was irritated. Anyway, I had to take the hat off last minute, man. I go out there, we have a great show. I'm acting like, I can't believe because I'm working. Like, okay, say, look, I'm working. I'm doing what Ricky wanted me to do. You feel me? So it was a great show. They even called me back, like, everybody's asking about platinum And they wanted to do a follow-up to see if you're single. And I was like, no, I was never single. But I do that. I get back, the record label is like, yo, why would you just tell us we'll send you to New York, blah, blah, blah. I said, if you had gave me my upfront money, maybe I
would have had to do all that.
Maybe I would have had to do. But then they made me have a pretend boyfriend at the rest of my shows. So these are the things I had to deal with music. And as I navigate and I get older and I'm like, I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of acting. I'm tired. And so I got to a point where I started to be mentored by Tisha Campbell. I started working at Zen Lounge in 2014 and she was like great to me, amazing. And I would ask her like, what can I be? Do you think, is it time? Like, can I be myself yet? Like, is that bad? Is that going to kill me if I'm, gay? This is 2014. So I'm giving y'all dates. The progress ain't as much as we thought, But she was like, yeah, but I mean, you're gonna shrink your audience. Like, that's just what it is, but you can be you. And she would tell me, she'd say, I see you got something where the dudes look at you and the girls look at you. And I think that's cool. And so I just slowly just like, it is what it is, right? And as I did that, some things, what I will say is, as an artist, the best thing I could have done is to just be myself. People loved me on the stage being myself. The business, it got harder because now it's like, first of all, most execs, I can't see myself like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's very much, I can't market this.
Right.
And so I just got tired of trying to figure out the hoops. And I said, all right, I'm gonna just do this background work. I went on tour with Johnny and that was a great time. And then after that, it was just like, well, what now? What's next? You know what I mean? This thing I'm going. Time is not waiting. So I said, what can I do? In my mind, there was a depression moment, right? Where it's like, I went on X Factor. It was great. I had 2 years where I could do my dream without having a job. That was great. And here I am. And that's not where I wanted to land. And I was super in a depression. And then it was like, well, guess I'll go back to school, because I left school for Rap-A-Lot music. So I never finished. And that's something my mom always was on me about. And so I was like, I guess I'll just go back. And I was like, I'm going to be a teacher or something, because at least I get my summers off. I was just depressed.
Not a teacher.
At least I could get a summers off. But I'm like, why? That's broker than you are now. Like, what?
So, listen, teachers only make about $30,000 a year.
I think I just wanted to not work for 3 months. And then, so I said, that doesn't make sense. With all the things that I've done, with all the people I know, why would you just go and then go be an accountant? Like, that's dumb.
Right.
So I felt like my move was to learn more about my industry in a different way. And sure enough, I go to film school. I'm talking to the same people that was my fan. People that were my fans were people that work at BET. So now I'm like, hey, you work at BET? Hey, let's talk. Let me take you out to happy hour. Like, hey.
Right.
It just made more sense for me. I was so happy. And because it's so expensive, I was really reserved. I didn't know. I come from being a D1 athlete on full ride to having to pay for tuition. That's
different.
I wasn't ready. But my wife was like, yo, go. Do it. Like, and I swear to God, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even try it. But I'm so happy she pushed me.
I love that for you. I think it's unfortunate because, like you said, there is such a time. Well, I don't even want to say time difference, but for lack of a better term, the time is different now. Because now, like, if you were to come out as a stud or a sim or whatever, it would be totally fine. Like, people can market you just as you are versus back in like maybe 2012 or 2014. Because I remember that's when I came out and I was still very taboo about it because I'm like, are people gay? Because right,
you don't. That was a touch and go time. I'm like,
don't want to tell people that I like girls because, girl, I was faking the funk for a minute during that time, and so I got tired of not being myself. So
period.
I love that you were able to, through time, say, you know what, I'm gonna do me. Period. Whether that meant leaving music and transitioning into a newfound art, I think filmmaking is super cool to get into.
Yeah.
I've never written a script, but I know how hard that can be. Like the creativity that comes behind it, the thought process, like really just putting it together. So what are some of the challenges that you faced as a filmmaker?
My challenges are budget. Let me be. That is the biggest. That's what every filmmaker is going to say. Budget, because I watched and I'm super into like Shonda Rhimes. My tops is like Shonda Rhimes, Issa Rae.
That's my girl.
You feel like I'm locked in on the elite, you know? And so I looked at interviews to try and prepare myself, and I saw Issa say one thing. She said her first YouTube series, which was Diaries of a Social, awkward Black girl, right?
Right.
That one is the only difference between that and Insecure is a budget. And I went and I looked at it and I was like, yo, but she was doing it. Do you know what I mean? And she wasn't afraid to do it with the money that she had. So that's a one that I have to say. But if we're not talking about money, right, then I would say my challenge is I want to go further in my creativity. I think I tell a lot of stories that I'm familiar with, but now that I've done it a few times, I know the pre-production, production, and post-production process. Right. Now I'm okay. Now what can I do that'll really grab people's attention? What is like that subject that's I want to go off the wall. You know what I mean? And so that's my challenge right now in writing. I just want my writing to be so undeniable that it makes you feel like you're looking at a high budget film. That's right. Yeah.
So what are some of the topics or subjects, should I say, that you have written about that I know you said that you've been familiar with?
Yes. So I really had to take a look at myself during the pandemic. And I realized during the pandemic that I was an extroverted introvert. And so I realized like how happy I was. And this is not to downplay the quarantine, but the happiness that came with getting out. Because at the time I was in a corporate 9-to-5. So I just retold the story of an introvert whose dreams come true when the world shuts down. Do you know what I mean? She goes through all of this, all of the social awkwardness, all of the racial microaggressions that you deal with, the let me touch your hair, all of that, put on a Black woman every single day, and then this person don't really even like people like that. Not that I don't like people, that's the character, but but that character in her day to day, and how a lot of people's life that changed for the worse was the opposite for people who really needed to be by themselves at that time.
Right.
And so I tackled that. That was interesting. You know what I mean? It's a light comedy, but it's also at the end where she's like ready to quit because she's trying to get a job that requires her to get work from home. And so she does everything in her power. The boss tells her, you gotta be visible and don't nobody know you. You don't say nothing to nobody. You gotta be visible. So she goes and she spiffies up on her, and I'm playing her as a stud, because that's not how I do in the office all the time. I'm kind of the Mariah Carey of studs. Like I can flip, I'll be over here and I'll be over there. So like, but my character was like super, Tom is what I would have done. You know what I mean? So so she dresses up, she does all these things, she goes through the hoops, she's taking extra assignments, which I hate when people have to do that at a job. Give me the raise first and then I'll do the extra. But whatever, that's another story. So she does all of this, and then they still give the job to somebody who has nepotism. And right when she's ready to quit, they get the email that we're going home. And it's like a happy ending for her, but it's like melancholy because everybody's scared of the pandemic. So that's pretty much what The Lucky Introvert was about. And that was my pre-capstone. And I had one other one that was Fallback, which is about a cellmate, just a quiet little chick who's in her cell trying to read. Really simple 5-minute story where she gets a loud roommate. Roommate don't know who she messing with. She bullies her until she finds out who she is. And that's called Fallback. So I've done 2 different, levels, but I'm looking to do more. And I think I have big ideas that require lots of equipment that I don't have yet, but I'm still going to write it, and we'll see when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, hopefully soon though.
Yeah.
Honestly, because the short films that you just described sound really, really dope. Where can we find those actually?
The Lucky Introvert. So right now, I have both of them in the festival circuit. I'm putting them out there. The Lucky Introvert was on YouTube, but I had to restrict it because they don't like for you to, it can't be out if you're trying to play the festival circuit. So for now, I have it unlisted, but it will be on my website. And that's lorievmore.com. So the Lucky Introvert is already there. And Fallback has its own website. So it's fallbacktheshortfilm.com. And that one has the trailer out, but the actual film will drop on my birthday, which is April 25th.
Okay.
The same day we graduate. Okay, I'm graduating.
Or a Taurus? You Aries or a Taurus?
Taurus. Like I'm nosy.
I love it.
Where are you?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, that's my daughter. My daughter's a Scorpio. Yeah. Y'all
yeah,
cool.
we're good mix. Good mix.
Y'all cool. Yeah, it happens. We work.
Yeah. No, I love that though. I love that. I will definitely make sure that we put those in the comments because we got to check those out for real.
Please.
So I know with the Lucky Introvert, some of the inspiration you gave for that, but what was the inspiration for Fallback?
So Fallback was a combination, right? Recently, I lost my auntie. She was, the cool auntie.
Yeah.
The one, like, she was just the cool auntie. That's all I could describe her as. Her name is Dee Dee. So I've dedicated her name to my character because she was super vibrant. She was just always up, like, like, and so that was the character. I wanted her to be like that, but harder. So I gave the character my aunt's name because my aunt had passed. But also I gave the character my aunt's paraphrasing and some of my aunt's, terms, because the cool aunt got the phrases.
Yeah.
In that order. She one of them aunties. She's one of them. So like I tried to make that with Dee Dee. However, I flipped it because I made Dee Dee a stud. And I was looking for people. I said, it's either I want a big girl, I want a big girl that can be feminine, or I want a straight stud. And so I realized that I had right at my fingertips, Frankie Baby Fantastic. And I said, can you do this? And she literally got on the phone, put a black, and she's a film student too. So she sent me back a little taste, like a little audition. And immediately I was like, that's Dee Dee.
That's it.
That's Dee Dee right there. So I got her, and I had this one girl. I worked with a lot of people that hadn't acted before, but I was, not to toot my own horn, but I was able to direct them to get what we needed. You know what I mean? And I'm really happy with everybody that came out and performed. It was just a small crew. Literally did it with me and my DP. Two-man crew, four characters, and I rented a jail set. It was great. We got good.
I love that. That. It's just like you said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put my mind to it. Writer, producer, actor, director, and got it done. Yeah. So the thing is, invention
is the daughter of necessity, if that makes sense. So we would have never had a ladder if there wasn't somebody that was too short.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So because if I don't have it and I still want to do it, I have to be innovative. Yeah. So,
definitely do. I definitely agree. And I feel like we need more people like that because there's so many people who feel like, they just give up. Like, if I don't know how to do this, they're so quick to, I'm going to try something else then because I don't know how to find a way to do what I want to do. The fact that you went from kind of music because music and filmmaking are two totally different things, and then really made a way to do it. And I know you said you're going to LA Film School. Shout out to them because I have a friend who's up there. So I think that's dope. To me, it just proves that I feel like you're built for this. And that way you're going to continue to climb the ladders of success in filmmaking because you're hungry for it,
Amen. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How important do you think it is for us to showcase or just have lesbian women in representation in filmmaking?
It's extremely important. And I didn't realize how important. Like when I started writing, I was just writing. I don't think I was Like, I didn't be like, I gotta write a gay story. Like, I didn't say, I was writing from this is a good story perspective, but something happened, and I'm gonna shout my friends out, Tasha and December. Tasha is a chef to the stars. She actually is a chef for Lena Waithe and a whole bunch of people. And her wife, December, we've been friends for so long. And they had written into the J Hud show to do a gender reveal. And we were like, okay. They called us, like, will y'all be a part of this? I'm like, sure, you the homies, whatever. So they call us. The producers call us and say, hey, we want you guys to surprise them. They don't know this, but we're going to surprise them. And so I got roped into this whole little surprise mission. And I got to be like the correspondent on Jennifer Hudson's show and stuff like that. And I was so proud of it. It was such a moment because we've been friends for so long. We're so happy for them. Their pregnancy journey was so hard. They didn't, it didn't take right away. So this was like such a celebratory moment. And It was great. The next day it went on air, it went on YouTube, and I was very happy for them. I'm showing and telling everybody. And then all of a sudden I start seeing the comments. This isn't good. This isn't of God. Y'all are going to hell. And I said, they still doing this. They still doing this.
Unfortunately.
They still doing this.
Yeah.
And so that's what they said. No, you gotta tell your story. You have to tell these stories until the ignorance is obliterated. And so that's what made me understand how important it is for us to keep telling our story.
And I agree. One thing I will say is, unfortunately, I don't think the ignorance will ever be obliterated, because there's always going to be that group of people who always feel like our sexualities are their business, even though it has nothing to do with who I lay down with and who I sleep with and who I decide to do. It has nothing to do with the next person. But for some reason, people feel so entitled to telling me where I'm going to go. Like,
that's crazy.
Have you died and gone to heaven, ma'am?
My thing is this. Okay, I had a friend and she was helping. She's one of my, I got all the gay stories. So after I went off for the Ricky Lake show and everybody found out, the day that it aired, I was breaking my neck. All I wanted to make sure is that my grandmama didn't see it. I just didn't want my grandmama to see it. I just didn't want her to see it. Just not her. And you know what's crazy? She was the coolest one about it. It's so weird. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm at her house. I'm changing the channel, right? And then all of a sudden, one of her girlfriends called 30 minutes later. Lorie, did I see? Click. Who is that? That's so she said she called that. I tried my heart. I didn't care about nobody. And then I had to realize that shit was on TV. And now you got to deal with the Deltas, my sorority.
Right.
So then my ship held me down. And I love them to this day. We are going to Tulum this May because we turned, I don't even want to tell you how old we are in Delta, but it's an anniversary and we're going. But they held me down. I'll never forget that. You had fraternity men calling the house saying, all of y'all is like that. It was very, I can't explain it to you how the shit that I've dealt with in this regard. And so, like, thinking about where I come from and all of that, you're right. The ignorance could never be obliterated because everybody is holding fast to their right to be right.
Right.
No matter how wrong it obviously is. And so, but at the same time, the more we show up, the more you just gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah, and accept it. And I like the way that you said that, because that's exactly what it is. People they feel like they're right. I'm right about how I feel, and you're wrong. And so I'm just going to push this narrative on you. But it's 2024, babe. Like, I love the fact that there's so much more representation of the LGBTQ plus community, because people have no choice but to accept it. I love the fact that there's so much more rights for us, and that there's so many more people in different avenues, like such as music and filmmaking and acting and producing, because it's just like, you can't shut us out forever. There was no way that people, masculine presenting women were gonna have to hide themselves forever just to appear to the masses. Because I love turning on my TV and looking at Saya on Angel. Hey! And I'm like, yes.
It needs to be, it needs to be normalized. That's the one thing I loved about the pandemic, is that studs went up. The stock of studs.
Baby girl.
My stuff on. I was like, hey. I said, let me get up in here. Hey.
No, for real. I mean, personally, I love it for my own self, but
right.
Yes.
No, I gotta get it. But
put it on TV screen, girl. I interviewed this lady named Treasure, and she was the host for this show called Stud Daddies, and I thought it was great. I went and watched the episode, and I was just like, now this is. It's so cool to see because it's just a big group of masculine women who get to be on TV totally themselves. They ain't gotta put no makeup on. They ain't gotta, they don't have to be what they aren't just to have made it to this point. And I just think it's beautiful.
I just want to say this because I think I need to say this particularly on this show because I feel like if I say this in the universe, I said it on TikTok, but I need to say it here because it's gonna go. Studs out there. Y'all young ones, I could do it, but I'm too old. Y'all young ones, y'all need a boy band. And I'm just gonna put it like that. We ain't never had, where's our boy band? Come on.
You're right.
I just want to manage it is the thing. I came up with it. So when y'all get together, call me. You know what I'm talking about? And I know where to put y'all. I got some connect. What you want to, like, okay, I'm just putting it out there right here because I know LA, if it say Fem Talk, I know they watch it.
Right. Listen, y'all heard it here first. Well, maybe second, but you heard it here from Lorie. We need a stud boy man, and she got y'all. Y'all heard who she knows. She got.
It has to happen.
I would die. Oh my god! I would be front row like.
Period. We're going on the Pride tour. Let's start there.
No, for real.
It's gonna, no.
Girl, listen. You should.
They will listen to me.
You might want to put it out there on TikTok. Now taking submissions for stud boy bands.
You know what? I'm gonna start pushing it. I'm gonna go ahead and push the issue.
I think you should because you know what? With there being so many more, like I said, people who are comfortable in their skin now. There's so many more masculine presenting women who are really good at music. Hell yeah!
All right, I'm about to say something. Watch this. Watch this. Let me think about this. I'm just off the top of my head acting like a casting director. Temper. I know she got a different name now. She'd be the rapper. Then you got Asmarie.
Okay.
Then you got, cause she sing. I've been around her. We've been in the studio together. Then you would have Sid from the internet. Put them.
I like Sid. That's my
done.
What? Girl.
What?
You give me chills.
Can I please? Can y'all come on? Can we get that? Anybody y'all listening?
Can we do something? We're gonna have to talk about this.
We gotta put that. We gotta make that happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And I want to do the documentary because it's gonna be epic. I want to do the. That's all I want. Give me the documentary. I ain't got to manage y'all. I'll do the documentary.
I just want to be witness.
Okay.
Let me just be witness.
There you go. There you go. On tour, like.
Yes, definitely. I love it. Love it. So bringing it back to your filmmaking, is there an ideal film that you want to create?
Oh man, I really do. I have two, but there's one that I'm gonna be. I already enlisted my friend Dr. Corey Emanuel. He's a dope writer out of LA. We decided to join forces because what he doesn't do, I do, and what I don't do as well as him, he does really well. Okay. You know what I mean? So he's a psychologist and I want to do a psychological thriller and trying to get on that. There's two different ones I want to do. I definitely want to do, here's who's going to be on here. How many followers y'all got? No, I definitely want to do, which one I want to tell y'all about? Which one is least, which one I like more? I'm going to tell y'all the second one. Okay, I'll tell you one. This is an easy one. I want to do a writer who is he's not doing good in life, right? He's at a low point in his life. Hey, boo boo. Say hi. My he's locked out, so good. But I want to do somebody like a writer who's like at his wit's end. He's a slob. He's terrible. He's trying to clean his life up. He's throwing away some stuff. He sees an old notebook, and he throws it away. And next day, the notebook's in the same place. He thought he threw it away. He throws it away again. Next day, the notebook keeps appearing. until it gets his attention. He looks through the notebook and it's a whole bunch of passages that nobody finished. He never finished.
Right.
So all of these incomplete passages in his notebook are haunting him. And then he gets visited by himself at that age until he is forced to finish something.
Right.
And I'll just like, it's a journey, but it's definitely a psychological thriller. Basically, if you were to string together all these pages, it would be the version of his best version of himself. But instead, he never finished the thing. And so this is his life.
Okay.
And
I like that concept.
Yeah, that's one I'll share. But there's another one. I got crazy stuff, but I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to dig deeper into
and do something
stuff.
different. No, I actually really resonate with that because I feel like I struggle with finishing things. Like, I feel like I have so many ideas and I'm like, I have my hand in a little bit of everything.
Yep.
But do I ever finish anything is the problem. Mm-hmm. And it's not intentionally, it's just...
It's not. That life be life in?
Yeah, it do.
But there's also, there's also times where you let the world talk you out of an idea and you left it.
Yes, that too. You get psyched out.
Or you try to because see, once you do this for a long time, then as you're writing, you can say, they don't like because it is. Because I've been through this, and you're replaying your past instead of visualizing your future. So you get to, they don't like that because skip. Finish it.
Yeah.
That's the theme of that movie. Finish it and see.
Finish it. I like that. I can't wait for that one because maybe that'll help me.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because I know it's relatable. We all go through that at some point. It's relatable.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, so do you feel like with, the lesbian stories that you've either seen, heard, or watched before, do you feel like they depict an accurate lifestyle of how it is to be a lesbian or just representation?
I feel like, watch my mouth. I feel like whoever is writing it, I'm sure that that's what their experience is. If they're from the culture. They're not from the culture, I ain't gonna give it no credit. I'm sorry. But I think that Lena is doing a great job in her position. She's like, I think out of everything, like The Shy is one of my favorite, and she writes everybody. That's what I like about her. But she also includes that character. Mm-hmm. And but some of the stuff I see, sometimes it's kind of like, it could be, you know what I mean? So, but as a new film student, I cannot, I have to watch my criticisms because I ain't done nothing yet. So, but I will say, everybody has a different angle. Everybody has a different point of view. And I can't wait to show mine. Right. Because mine might be grittier. Mine might be, because I'm from Chicago. It might, and then that's why Lena is one of my favorites. We come from the same place. And that's how it was to me. So if I'm pointing to somebody who's doing it right, I'm gonna say her, but we're from the same place.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a favorite LGBTQ movie? Or just, it doesn't have to necessarily be the whole movie about that, but just representation.
All of them. I was a Noah's Ark fanatic.
Really?
I was a Noah's Ark fanatic. I know that's older. But that was the first one. That was that's when look what they're doing.
Right.
And I had an L word problem, although slightly underrepresented in that. But man, what's new out though? Because now it's like everybody's represented at once. It's not like a gay show like that.
Yeah. They kind of throw it in there. I'm gonna tell you mine. Well, go. Okay, it's not an LGBTQ plus movie, but it's how I knew I was gay. Okay. Let it out.
So it is. It's by association.
When Queen Latifah had that girl in that lingerie on that.
That was it.
That was it for me.
Wait, I got mine. Okay, now that if we doing that, she hate me. And nobody ever knows that. See, nobody ever knows that. Try it. Kerry Washington. And it's a Latina actress that everybody know, and I don't want to get it wrong. I feel like I don't want to say Rosario. Who is that?
Is it a movie?
Michelle Rodriguez? I don't remember. It's a movie, and it's about a lesbian couple who her ex is a man, and he just got fired from his job, and they want to pay him to give them a baby. And then they started giving him referrals to all their friends. This man ended up having 90 babies. Like, now that's a normal story. Like, my friend's donor has a Facebook page dedicated to all his kids. Like, that's the world we live in now. But back then, when Spike Lee did it, that was like, whoa. And Kerry Washington saying that was, listen, you got to watch that one. I'm
gonna have to watch, girl. Watch it today.
So I can see where the Latifah scene is probably more for you, but no, it's the Kerry Washington for me.
Yeah, because girl, I would watch that movie, and it would be that scene, and then when she died, because I was so sick, because I swore Queen Latifah was my woman back in the day. I swear to God, I wrote a whole report about her and everything. I was like, yeah, but that's how I knew, and I love that though, because you have to realize that Set It Off came out early 90s, maybe.
Yep.
There was barely any of that ever going on.
That was
so it really resonated with me and my little, maybe 8-9-year-old self, and I was just like, yeah.
Ooh, that looks right. That looks like
that looks like what I want to be doing.
No, I was way more old. Look, my signal was the fact that I just started seeing nothing but Toni Braxton posters on my wall. Like, it was like Criss Cross, the Boys, Jodeci, and it was like Toni Braxton, and it was like Toni Braxton, and then it was like Tevin Campbell, and then it was like Toni Braxton.
Right.
I was like, this is crazy, bro.
That is so funny. No, I definitely understand. Well, Lorie, it's literally been a pleasure speaking with you today. I've had the best interview. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I do want to have you drop all of your handles again, where we can find you. If you can, drop your website again, just so we know where we can access your short films when we can access them.
Easy. So, Lorie V. Moore. And my mama thought she was being special, so it's Lorie. Don't forget the E, because it ain't gonna go to a great place. So at Lorie V. Moore. And that's TikTok, Instagram, X. I don't really say nothing on X, but
Twitter, girl.
And my actual website. I still say Twitter too. I was trying to be
I say Twitter.
I was trying to act like I was young
like that.
But it's Twitter. I'm sorry. It's gonna be Twitter for me. But and then my website is lorievmore.com. And that's where you find everything.
All right, y'all. Well, like you said, listen, we got the boy band coming soon. Make sure you guys check her out, hit her up, check out her stuff. Lorie V. Moore. We'll make sure we drop everything in the comments. This was another episode of Film Talk hosted by me, your girl KP, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.